Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, we're back with a Royal Canadian pocket watch. As you may or may not remember, I did a video earlier of Mark's watch. He dropped it and he broke, wherever it's gone, the balance staff out of it. And as you're probably aware, these things are not easy to get parts for. But very luckily for Mark, I hear you say, he was contemplating buying a better watch, and then he wasn't, and then I tried to buy this back, but he said no, he wasn't sure, and then he decided to keep it. And as sad as I am that he's keeping it, I also think he made a very wise decision. Now, this should hopefully only be a short video. I have managed to find him another watch which I bought that was broken. I did some work on, and we've salvaged the complete balance staff, the whole lot really. So we are going to hopefully just pop it straight in to the watch, and magically it should start to work. So let's give it a go. What have we got to lose? Nothing to lose, everything to gain. If my head's in the way, I apologise. There we go, so we just drop that in there like that. Pop it in. Check that it's not over banking, which it is. So we need to move that on a bit. Like that. And there we go. So that was quite easy, wasn't it? That was the beauty of actually finding, well, I don't think there's much power in the watch, I don't know, but that was the beauty of finding the complete part. So now let's just see if we can get it screwed down. This video is more for Mark's benefit than for the big scheme of things for you guys, because as I say, you saw me take it apart and investigate the broken balance. So now it should do him a turn until the next time he drops it, which hopefully isn't going to be in my lifetime. So we just pop that back in there like that, loosely screw on the front like that. Turn it over. Don't worry about it stopping, it's just because it's still a bit loose and needs a wind. I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it hasn't stopped raining in London for days and days. Proper miserable. proper miserable old weather. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but it's stopped. I know. Because probably the crown's out and it probably needs a bit of winding. And it'll probably need a bit of fettling, because don't forget I've just taken it out of a watch that had a problem elsewhere in its makeup. See if we can get some wind onto it. And now we'll just secure the front down. Okay, so there you go. Just wanted a little bit of loosening off, or maybe over tightened it a bit. Just good, a little bit too tight. There you go. No, still a little bit too tight. There you are. Just got to fettle it a bit. A bit of fettling, that's what it's called. And there it is. It lives again. I did try and buy this off of him, you know. I did try, but he said he decided he likes it so much that he wants to keep it. And really, he's not a bad judge, really. I shall tell you from why he's not a bad judge. Then here is a very similar watch, and while it looks very good and you think, well, there's not much difference in it, you know, you go, oh, there's not much difference, is there? Well, there is a lot of difference in there. First of all, look at those hands and the numbers. Those are still the original hands. These ones have just been painted, so they're not particularly good. Get a bit of power onto this. I haven't used it for a while. Let's go that bit. So there they are, side by side. To the connoisseur, the one on the right, Mark's one, totally different bow, very unusual. Hands original, numbering original. This one's had a bit of work done, I would have said. Case is similar, but I'll undo that. No, I can't undo it, it's a bit tight. But you can certainly see when they're laying down the difference in the sheen on this one compared to this. It's dull. I mean, this could really do with polish a bit the case, just to take some of the nonsense off of it. But yeah, see, this is just a different type of bow, but this is unusual. I would have said, looking at the watch, I'd have said this was probably made for someone a bit higher up the chain because of the case. This would be your ordinary general Joe Bloggs, again maybe because this is off of a boat, who knows. But there they are, two of them side by side, and you can tell the difference when you hold them like that, can't you? You really can see the difference. This one top quality, this one a really nice watch. But there you go. Young man, your watch is back in the room and I'll deliver it to you on Thursday. There you go guys, all done. I'm just gonna sitting here a bit bored, waiting for a phone call. So I thought I'd tack this video onto the end of young Mark's video. Right, this is Mark's old broken balance staff. And what I'm going to do today is, just for fun, I'm going to strip it down to its component parts so young Mark can see what a broken balance staff looks like. So you have to excuse me. Again, my trusty old oiler. What I like to do is, what I will tell you is, you probably won't be able to pick it up on the camera because it's too small, but a critical part of it is where this hairspring lines up when you put the watches back together. So you might just be able to see a little mark there. It's very, very hard to see. See if I can get it in the light. Yeah, a couple of little scratches. Well, that lines up with this hole, this little slot. So if I do find a balance staff for this, when I restaff it, I know that when I put the hairspring back in, that if it lines up with that, then the watch, whatever one it goes into, won't be far out of line. So, well, that's my theory anyway. It works for me. You make up your mind. So now, this is very delicate because it's the hairspring. So I just ease it backwards and forwards a bit. Get a bit of movement on it. And then you've got to try and sort of flick it up as you go. And then you've got another oiler. Let's try it with just the one. I'm lazy, too lazy to go and find one. Just slide it underneath the hairspring. Lovely job this is. You don't want to do this when you've had too much coffee or if you've got the hump with anyone. It can all go very badly wrong. You have to be delicate. So I've got it to that stage now, so I'm fairly comfortable. I've made myself a gap. 2 little screwdrivers. One under the hairspring, one side, one under the other. And just gently pop. Lever it up. Catch it just here. And lift it off. And that is the hairspring off. Change my glasses so I can see the screen. There you go. That's the hairspring. When you consider it that it's thinner than one of the hairs on my hand, that's why. It'll be a bit delicate. So no good if you've got the hump with someone. So we'll put that out of the way. Okay. So the next part of this that's a bit delicate, turn it over, as you can see that there is the little jewel, the balance jewel, and you don't want to break that off because if you do it's all uncomfortable. You have to use a stuff called shellac and warm the shellac up and then mess around. So as we've one here is good, we use this little tool like this. And basically what you do with this is you open it up like that, you can close it up like that, and basically, if I can do it, excuse if my face gets in the way, is, you have to excuse me while I do this, you won't see a lot because unfortunately the fingers have to go in. Just excuse me while I get it lined up properly. Well there, it didn't need much persuasion. Where Mark had dropped it, the actual balance staff and the jewel, they had come out together. So what, let's change my glasses so I can see what I'm saying. Oh yeah, watch of the day, look at that, what a beauty. I fixed it. Don't see many of them for the pound. Oh god, there we go, don't lose it Dave. So there's the broken balance staff, but it's come out with the roller table on the end. So we're going to need to get that off of there because I want the roller table because it might come in handy. But it makes it a bit more difficult now to do that when it's not attached to the balance wheel. So what a shame, perfect balance wheel, a very good hairspring. I've just got to get that off of there and then go through boxes and boxes and boxes of balance staffs. I don't know as I'll bother to go through the balance staff situation. I think I'll just leave it. Ouch, my in elbow. Let me see if I can do this while I'm while the balance wheel's off. Don't know if I can. I'll probably shoot this straight across the room in a minute. Yeah, so I'll probably end up shooting it right across the room. So, lay that down a bit so it fits on there. Tighten that up so it kind of goes underneath. I told you to shoot across the room, didn't I? I know these things. I know. Let's try it again. Right, so if you can see it now, you see how the side bits, these two here, are pinching into the bottom of the balance staff. And what you do in theory is you tighten this bit so that I have to take me. I wish I had 30-year-old's eyes. Yeah. So you tighten this bit so it kind of grips around the bottom, and then you tighten this bit up, and what you should see happen is the balance staff get pushed out of the roller jewel table. I have to try and keep it here so I don't lose it. Yeah, I can feel it's moving now. Ding! I told you it'd fly, didn't I? Well, that table's gone over the back there somewhere. But that was the theory anyway. It didn't quite work out as well as I'd hoped it would. It's because I was trying to do it in a rush on the camera. But I think you got the gist of that, didn't you? What's that? Is that it there? Ah, there we go. Well, let's see what damage that caused. Ooh. Here we are. Get out of the way. Well, it didn't break the jewel, which is a good thing. Should we try that again? No, please don't. I can hear you saying it all the way across the world. No, please don't. That was painful to watch. Imagine how I felt. Imagine how I felt. Get it to line up a bit. Right, so as you can see we're back in, but what I'm going to try and do this time is, rather than twist and push, I'm just going to twist these in. You know, that is really super tight. Gee. No, that is super tight, that is. It's just forced itself out the side again. So I'm going to get it right in the middle. We're just going to wind in and see what happens. It's knackered anyway, but I would like to try and keep it. Well, that is proper screwed in there. Drop that back a bit. Lordy, lordy. Tell you, I've never seen one so tight. Look, it's actually that tight. It's actually twisted the tool, which is something you don't often see. That's knackered. I'm not even going to bother with that. Herewith endeth the lesson. It is so tight that it's actually bent. It's actually bent my tool. And I don't like to be beaten, but I think this one has finally. Can you see how far it's bent my tool out? Sounds good, doesn't it? That has bent it completely. Gee whiz. Gee whiz, they say. Well, I don't know what to make of it. Can you see how red my fingers have gone? That's because I'm putting such a lot of pressure on this. No, it's had it. Don't know why I'm bothering really. actually broken at all. You ask any watchmaker, these things normally fall apart when you touch them, but this one is super tight. That's so tight, I've bent the arms and it's still not popped out. Okay, you don't want to play like that then, no? It's lifted it off of there the tiniest amount. Okay, well there's more than one way to skin a cat. I'll be back. Alright, here we go. Special tool time. So, if you can see that, this is a staking set. So this is our anvil, and I think I want a flat one. Let me see if I can find a flat one. That's your stake. All got various little jobs, all these different thingy majiggies, and we want one to line it up with. Where's the liner upper? Is that a real word, do you think, liner upper? I don't know. Just move it out of the way before I knock it flying. Right. So, what we need is this plate to give the soft surface a bit more bounce. So that's a staking anvil. You're probably not going to see too much of this unless I can try and do it sideways on. So there's that gone. Come back. So let's see if I can do this sideways on, because I haven't got a camera that I can move around too much. So here's our balance staff. Now what I need to do is find a hole. It's too big. That one's perfect. So you see we've lined it, we've popped it in there. I don't think it's going to be very successful, this. So I know which hole I want. I'll take it back out, line the hole up so that the plate is right underneath it, and lock the plate off. Dink. Pop it back in. The right way round. Like that. Now I don't know if you can see the jewel's still there. It's up here somewhere. Oh, it's up here somewhere, the jewel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop that all the way down. Just got to make sure, change my eyes. Yeah. So we've popped that down there now, and that is resting on the top of the balance staff. And then we take the sledgehammer, and what we do is we ever so gently hit our fingers. Now, you won't believe it, but that slight little tap, has that loosened it up enough? I'm going to try and do this sideways on, so you might be able to see a bit. Right, it's just popped out and landed somewhere. But that was what I was trying to get off with my special tool, which is now a broken special tool. So there. Change my glasses. That is the roller jewel table. Away. Balance staff comes up through there. And that little jewel, which is absolutely tiny, tries to run away. That jewel there fits in between the pallet forks, and that's what regulates the ticky tocky. So it would be nice, because I want you to take the staff and show it to Mark. Did it come out? Oh, it looks like it's bounced off somewhere. Huh. Would you believe? Oh, it's ended up right down there. And if we can have a look at that now. Yeah. I'm not having a great day, am I? There's the broken balance staff somewhere here. Just dropped down my fingers again. And there it is in all its glory. Broken. And for a bit of a comparison, there's a magnetised unbroken one. So you can see that the bit that's broken off is absolutely tiny. I'm trying to find them all. Oh, I've got boxes of them, but I'm not going for it for hours. There you go. Now look, they're trying to mate. There you go. That's how that works.